So welcome to this talk on projection and forgiveness. By now you've got quite far through this course, and it's time that we addressed this really difficult issue. The nature of our mind is to project. Everything that we don't like about ourselves, everything that we, fracture that we suffered in our life, every negative self-concept and belief system we've taken, we buried that in our mind. And then what we do later on is we project those qualities out on the people around us. Naturally, most of us really don't think we're like that, and that those other people really are the way we see them. And we even get all our friends to agree with us that that person is that way. But basically, you can only see in others what is in you. To see even negative qualities about other people means at some level you believe that about yourself. And the extent to which you think other people should be punished for being the way that you see them is the extent to which you're punishing yourself for being like that. So typically our mind is doing one of two things. Either it's projecting, which is as we described, or it's extending. It's giving itself in love and compassion and understanding. And so basically in our conscious mind, we just have the choice between those two actions, those two qualities. Now most of us, speaking for myself here, we get caught up in the projection more than anything else. In fact, our projection creates a world around us. And in our projection, it's like, you'll know how much we project by how judgmental we are. Because all our judgment and projection comes at some point from our guilt, from how we feel bad about ourselves. And that's what judgment is. Judgment is the projection of our guilt on the world around us. And of course, that then comes back to us in the form of our judgments. What our judgment does is freeze frames our world. When we look out and see the same world day after day, or see our partnership or our friends the same way day after day, what it means is that our judgment has locked our perception into seeing them that way, seeing the world that way. And that if we become too judgmental, in the end, we just lock our world in and nothing moves. And so typically we have that feeling of being stuck, a feeling of our life not moving forwards. Judgment comes from our minds, our looking at a person, at a situation and saying, this is the way that it is. And then that's the way you will always see it. Nothing will unfold. That's how we get caught by our judgment, how it freeze frames the world. So for instance, let's say you judge your friend to be lazy or your co-worker to be stupid. Then that is how you'll experience them. And not only that, your judgment will then put you in sacrifice. The extent to which you judge people is the extent to which you'll need to carry them. If your co-worker is stupid, then you need to do their job and your job. And you only get paid for your job. So judgment makes our life a burden. It makes things difficult and slows our life down. And our judgment comes from projection. To go the other way is to extend ourselves and to learn about forgiveness. Now, the way that we know we've really forgiven someone or really extended someone is all of a sudden our life moves forward. It goes from being stuck to having a sense of flow to it, sense of movement to it. And therefore it's essential for us, if we want a fulfilling and happy life, that we need to learn how to forgive. Now, forgiveness is a tough lesson. Forgiveness and letting go, as we said, are really tough. Because we've defended against these bad feelings and all these self-concepts about us, and we're not willing, or often not willing, to have the courage to own these projections back, to go, yeah, actually on some level I'm like that. But remember, as I said before, if you see it, It must be because at some level you believe it about yourself.
So there are different ways in which we can forgive. One way which I learnt, and I learn it all the time sometimes with my mother in particular, is sometimes she'll become very angry and emotional with me or in the family. And all I do is ask myself the question, how old is the little girl in my mother that feels this way, that she has to act in this way and have a bit of a tantrum? And when I remember the 5-year-old little girl in her and extend myself to the 5-year-old little girl that's in that much pain, that comes out and acts out in this way, then she'll immediately stop the behaviour and she'll start to extend herself towards me. That's one way in which we can learn to forgive. But the most important thing I think about forgiveness and healing our judgments is to have that level of ownership, to know that whatever we are projecting out into our world is coming from within us, and we have the power to heal that within us and then create and change our world outside.